kick off their Asian Cup campaign up against Tajikistan this coming weekend. Who's getting off to a flyer? Who's going to sock balls? We're going to take a little look next. Today we're taking a look at the second match over in Group A. That's right, China against Tajikistan in the AFC Asian Cup. Who will fly off the blocks? Of course, we'll take a look at it all in a second. Of course, big shout out to my VIPs. They are the patrons. You know who you are. And again, if you're new, where you've been, whop the old subscribe button. Of course, yeah, your one-stop shop for the Asian Cup, Lapland Rovers, and World Football. We've got it all here, boys, under one rooski. That's right. Oh, so let's get into it. Now, waste no more further ado and talk about this one. China against Tajikistan over at the Abdullah bin Khalifa Stadium. That's over in Qatar. 13th of Jan, wherever you are in the world, of course. But let's have a look at these two sides as they gear up for this one. Again, it's a monstrous game, really, between these two, because really you'd expect Qatar to come out on top. But I think the second place is wide open. So we'll have to see if who's going to come out on top between these two guys. So here, let's get into it then. Take a look at the Chinese. Qualified second round Group A runners-up. Qualified back on the 4th of June 2019, of course. This is their 13th finals. 2019 was the last. Their best, though, was runners-up back in 1984 and 2004. Of course, whenever the year ends with a 4... yeah, you never know. China could surprise us all here. Alexander Jankovic is your manager with Starman Li Wu pulling the strings as well. 33-1 to go the distance. I have got them making it to the last 16, though. So we'll see if I'm right or if I am wrong. Let's take a look then at their resume, of course, heading into this. Taking on Tajikistan first, but the key game for them is the must-not-lose match against Lebanon. Win that, and you've got a foot, at least a foot, I would imagine, into the last 16. I don't think you'll get much from Qatar. If you draw this one, win Lebanon, 4 points should be enough for you to go through. Of course, we'll see how that develops over the course of the tournament. Of course, take a look at the starting 11 then, shall we? Of course, and the squad. Squad is there on the left-hand side. Starting 11 is on the right. We've got Yan between sticks. We've got a youngster. Oh, not youngster. He's actually an English-born geezer. Browning at left-back. Zhang, Yang, Wai Lu. We've got Wu, Bi Lu, Wang, another Wang in there. We've got the Wu Lei up there, of course, on the left-hand side. Zhang and Wei, of course, who's in there somehow. Again, not familiar with the Chinese setup, but we're going to become familiar with them as the tournament progresses. Take a look at Tajikistan. Again, another one of those nations I'm not too up to speed with, but this is prime exposure to get a little bit to know about Tajikistan and the players that they have. Third round Group F winners, of course, secured that on the 14th of June 2022. This is their first ever tournament, their brand squeaky clean debut. Of course, their manager is Peter Seglet. Of course, your star man, Rustam Yamitov. Of course, they've got 150-1 to go the distance to lift the odds trophy there. And again, I don't think, not expecting much. I think it's a coin flip between themselves and China. Who else is in this group? Lebanon. No, I think China and Tajikistan battling out for the second spot, but who knows? They might even be in the mix for that third place playoff as well. So here is the situation. Of course, Tajikistan's opening match is against China. We're talking about it right here, right now. Then they take on the host, Qatar. Not really expecting much from them out of that one. And then it is, of course, Lebanon. The must-not-lose game in Lebanon. Win that one, get 3 points, give yourselves a little hope to get to the last 16. Who knows? You could do a Greece and go the distance that way. Let's take a look then at the squad then for Tajikistan. Again, don't know too much about them, but Yatimov, your star man, I think, between the sticks. Then we've got Nazarov, Duzhbazharov, Kananov, Safarov, Jubarov, Uberemev, Panjanchambi. Is that right? Dazalov up there, Soryov, and Samiev. A lot of Russian kind of names, of course, formerly of the USSR way back when. So just like the Tajikistans and the Uzbekistans, there's a bit of a Europeanness about some of these teams. A debut tournament for them. So let's see if they can provide the rest of the watching Asian world and what they're all about. They have played each other just the one time since 2019. It was a win for China. We'll talk about that shortly. But of course, 2 wins in the last 6 games for China, 33% for them. At the moment, it's not great. As for Tajikistan, though, unbeaten in the last 5, picking up 4 wins and a draw to boot. Of course, that one and only result was a 1-0 win. That was back in a friendly way back in June 2019. China on the back of a 2-0 loss against Oman, also lost to Korean Republic as well. So back-to-back games now without a goal. Just as for the Tajikistan, back-to-back wins for them, beating the likes of Hong Kong in a friendly on the 4th of Jan, also beating Pakistan World Cup qualifying as well. So that's the recent results for the two. What about the public vote? The public vote is out, and we have China as 71% favourites from the public vote. 21% go in favour of Tajikistan, and there's only been 7% for the draw. And that's where I'm going here, boys and girls. I'm going with a draw. That's right. Cannot separate two sides at the moment. I just don't know too much about this Tajikistan, China. Of course, a bit more experience about them. They've been together a little bit longer, but Tajikistan here making a debut. I just don't know. So I'm going to play it safe, going with a draw. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down below on this one. And of course, we'll see who's right, who's wrong when we come back again for match number 2. But until then, guys and girls, we'll see you soon for the next